Good morning, all students. Can you all hear me? Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? And are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
All right. Okay. Good. First of all, please remember to scan your attendance by using your HiHive app. All right. So, very important. If you have any issue regarding unable to scan, please remember to drop an email to the Civic group. Okay. All right, so let's start. Okay, first of all, welcome back to new May trimester 2021. So you are attending property development, and also some of you actually come from development economics. So basically, two subjects are the same. So maybe some of you get to know me. Wait a moment. Okay, all right. So, my name is Dr. Wong Pui Fong. So, I think most of you actually know me since CAQS. So, basically, I teach CAQS, but I will mainly focusing teaching in property development. Sometimes I do teach integrated project. So, for this subject, I'm the only lecturer handling this subject. So if you have any issue regarding this course, property development, feel free to drop me an email. And if you require some, let's say, clarification regarding your assignment or regarding some question regarding the course, feel free to contact me through Microsoft Teams. You can chat with me. Okay, so basically this is my consultation hour. So if you would like to conduct a consultation with me regarding the course, feel free to make an appointment with me. Okay. So as you all know, quite different from for this trimester, and actually last trimester also the same now. So we are actually practicing online teaching and learning. So slightly different from physical teaching. So most of you are required to attend online classes. And for LKC FES, we actually started to monitor your attendance through QR code. So for every class, I've actually attached a QR code for you to scan. So I hope every one of you can remember to scan your QR attendance. So please reminder that you need to achieve attendance 80% and above, then only you are eligible to attempt your final assessment. Okay, so as I say, we are practicing online teaching, learning. So if you can, please mute your mic when you join the meeting, okay, so that we can have a smooth teaching and learning. So please remember that I hope as a student, you can monitor your attendance. So don't make me so worried that later on, you cannot achieve your 80%, then ended up you're invalid. Then you cannot attempt your final assessment. So very important, especially for those final SEM students. So please make sure not only this course, but other course as well. Make sure you can achieve 80% and above for the attendance. And we no longer practicing physical exam. So we will change to online assessment, similarly for your midterm and your final. Okay. So we cannot have face-to-face consultation at the moment. So all the consultation we will conduct through Microsoft Teams and email. So since we practicing online teaching, so sometimes I might have some urgent announcement information. So I do hope that all of you can check your email and also your MS Teams Weber frequently. Okay. So this one is very important. I actually attached this link as well in Weber. So all the students, please fill in your detail. Okay, why I need to get your detail is later on we will have our midterm and also our FA. Sometimes things will go wrong, especially later on your file corrupted, or maybe I cannot open your file properly, or I found something wrong in your file. Or sometime, I think most likely will happen this sem lah, because you all actually taking several subjects at the same time. Some student will attach wrong file to the Webeler. So that's why if I found out something happened, I need to call you immediately to solve the problem. So that's why remember to fill in your detail, especially your handphone number. I won't disturb you lah, don't worry. Okay, so please make sure fill in by clicking this link. You just require to fill in once, so don't fill in more than twice. Okay, you just need to log in using your UTA email. No need request any access. So I do hope you can fill in your detail before we start our midterm assessment. Okay. All right. So for property development, these are the course contents that I will go through with you throughout the 14 days. First is the economic context of property development. Basically, this one we are going to talk about micro and also macroeconomics. How macroeconomic affect property development and investment. Okay, so basically this one is more toward the economic context, how it affect and influence property development. Okay, somebody forget to mute your mic. Siapa? Ji Hui, okay, mute your mic. All right. Moving forward is we are going to learn investment in property development. So basically in this chapter, we are going to learn a few investment methods, such as why people nowadays like to invest in property. Let me say, do you do any investment? What do you think? Which investment is the best? Will get you more return? So basically, many people, most of the people will say, invest in property, especially now. So why? So in this chapter, we are going to figure out why property is so attractive as compared to invest in share lah, bond, FD. So basically here we are going to learn a few investment not to say method, investment stuff lah. So which one is the best? Okay, and then after that we are going to learn this one first, property market research. So generally, you need to familiar with this chapter because your assignment will require you to conduct a proper market research for a piece of land. So basically, in this chapter, we are going to learn how we conduct a proper market research step by step. Okay, then moving to development appraisal. This one is very, very important. Is your core skill, is the core soul of this course. So basically, you will be learning how to prepare a development budget, or sometimes we call feasibility study. So say, for example, how developer decide which piece of land they need to develop, what kind of development is profitable, how feasible is this project. So that is the purpose we need to figure out by using development appraisal to justify how much return, okay, how much profit that you are going to receive at the end of the development. Okay, then moving forward is the funding. No money, no talk. So in this chapter, we are going to learn how developer get funding. Where are the sources? How they get the funding to kickstart the new development. Okay. Then I think is, yeah, here, this one, sustainability. Okay, sustainability is very important. It's one of the key current issue in the industry. So basically in this chapter, we are trying to link together sustainability and property development. How these two complement with each other, how sustainability can enhance property development. Okay, then second last is valuation method. So in this chapter, basically, I just exposed to you all a few valuation method. So mostly in this chapter is all about calculation. Okay, how can we value certain type of property? Say for example, hotel, police station, petrol station. For all these kind of specialized property, how can we get a property value for this type of property? Okay. Last but not least, due diligence. Okay. Due diligence is actually a process. How can we verify, investigate the potential property development and investment to confirm what we receive the information whether correct or not? Especially nowadays, a lot of what? Scam. Correct or not? People tell you, you invest today, then next year you are going to get double of your investment, or maybe next week you get double of your investment. So in this aspect, as an investor, as a developer, it's very, very important. They need to practice due diligence. Basically, is to verify all the fact, all the information given before we proceed to the development and also investment. So as a whole, these are the course content that we are going to go through from today until the end. Okay. Cost outcome. So basically for every cost, no matter property development, value management, PPP3 or measurement, every cost, every subject, they will have cost outcome. Basically, is the objective that we hope to achieve at the end of the 14, at the end of week 14. So basically, for property development, it consists of 5 cost outcome. The first cost outcome is at the end, we do hope that you will be able to know how to analyze the current economic context for property development. So as I mentioned just now, how microeconomics affect, influence property development. So basically, you will know how to analyze the relationship. Okay. Cost outcome number 2 is evaluate property investment and other type of investment which I mentioned just now. Why people keep saying property investment is so good? If you got money, buy property first. Buy property first. Why? So basically, at the end, you should be able to know the reason. The third cost outcome is to appraise viability. Viability here, as I mentioned just now, feasible. How feasible is this property development project? Especially when the developer asks QS, how feasible is this project? So you need to use one thing to benchmark to make your client confident that this project will bring you 20% profit, 30% return. So that is what it means that you will be able to appraise, to evaluate how feasible is this project as compared to other projects. Okay. Cost outcome number 4. Distinguish, meaning to say that you'll be able to differentiate sources where developer get the money. when they want to kickstart the project. In what form of the finance they have? What are the choices they have when they want to kickstart? Okay, so this one is quite important as well. Last but not least, cost outcome number 5. As I told you, sustainability is a current issue in the industry. So we hope that at the end, you will appreciate the urgency. When we say that property development, we need to integrate marriage sustainability with property in the future so that our building can be more sustainable, more green in the future. Okay, so basically 5 cost outcome that we hope you can achieve at the end of this course. All right. So for lecture, every Monday, I think I did this time I quite bad because I get 8 a.m. So it's not fixed by me, it's fixed by the office. So no choice, you have to attend the class 8 a.m. in the morning. So 3 hours of the class, and I will actually use up 14 weeks from week 1 until the end, including I will conduct midterm, and also at the end of the week 14, I will conduct a FA briefing, and I also will release your assignment, your midterm, and discuss with you. So basically, the class will start from week 1 until week 14. Online lecture only. Online only. Okay? So the platform we conduct the lecture, I think you all know lah, MS Team. For tutorial, okay, tutorial generally every one of you will need to attend 6 sections, 6 classes. So each classes is 1.5 hours. Okay. For your information, tutorial for this course will begin week 3. Not week 2, not week 2. Okay, take note, for even group, your tutorial will begin in week 4. So I will kickstart tutorial in op week first, week 3. So op group, please remember to attend your tutorial classes. Okay, so basically I got a lot of tutorial classes, I think 8 classes. So please make sure you follow the time and then join the class according to your group and also according to the day and the time. So just remember you have to attend 6 tutorial okay. So I remember some of you bid physical tutorial. So just for your information, the physical tutorial has been changed to online. As you can see nowadays, the COVID cases is actually quite scary. So safety first. I also hope that you all can stay safe, especially final year student, because you are going to graduate soon. So I hope you can actually practicing the SOP quite well and stay at home. All right. For assessment, anyone mute your mic? 100%. I will assess through assignment. It's a group assignment, so the assignment carry heavy percentage, 40%, and then midterm 20%, and later on your final will be 40%. So basically your CA mean continuous assessment. It consists of 60%. Okay, then your final 40%. So at the end of the week 14, I will release 60%. So from that, you will know that what is the mark that you will get. And you are compulsory to attempt your final assessment, even though you pass your CA. Okay, some students, they might pass the CA. Let's say the student score quite good. They get 51%. Although you get 51%, look like pass already, but you are still obligated to go for final assessment to pass the subject. So please remember, final assessment is compulsory for all students. Okay. The important date that I actually put in Webex and also put in this slide, please remember. So for this course, the midterm will be fall on week 8, 27th of July, Monday. So the time that I set is 9:15 a.m. until 11:30 a.m. So for this sem, I actually give extra 15 minutes. Last time I only give student 2 hours. So in view that this sem quite many students, so the question actually quite tough lah for midterm for this sem. So actually I set 2 hours and 15 minutes. So the class actually end at 11 but the midterm I conduct until 11:30. So if any one of you got class at 11, please let me know, because in that case I have to reschedule the time already. Okay, so the class still begin at 8 o'clock as usual. So please attend the class first. Then at 9 o'clock, I will stop teaching, and then we will begin to conduct our midterm assessment. And I will try to allocate a time, maybe half an hour lah. I will let you know. I will conduct a briefing, basically to tell you which chapter they're going to come out, what are the things that you need to be consider later during your midterm. So for the briefing, the date and the time, I will announce soon in Webeler lah. Okay, just take note. So for assignment 40%, you are required week 1, now is week 1, week 2, next week I will brief the assignment. So for this week, you can start to find your group mate first, form a group, not more than maximum 7%, max. Okay, I received some question from the student, asking that, shall we form the group from the same tutorial class? Let's say you are from T1. Is it means that your group mate should from T1 as well? The answer is no. You are free to form the group from any other tutorial group. There is no such thing for this course. There is no such requirement to say that all must from T1, all must from T2. No, you are free to actually form from any tutorial. Okay, so that is the flexibility. Okay, so later on, this is a date that the deadline for you to submit the assignment. Okay, just take note lah. Some of the reference book and the textbooks that I will recommend to you so that you have better understanding of this course. The first book that I highly, highly, highly recommend is Property Valuation by Peter Watt. Okay, so for this one, quite lucky is you can get this ebook. Just clicking this link, click this link. Then after that, you type property valuation. Search in the search bar, you type property valuation. Then you can download this book for free. Okay, ebook lah. So this book will be quite useful for your midterm. So please download lah. This ebook, everyone can get a copy for free. Okay, so basically this book should be quite useful for you to understand micro, macroeconomics, and also property investment. Okay. Next book that I will recommend as well is this one, Property Development by Richard Witt. And also, just now I mentioned, right, we are going to have a chapter called Due Diligence. So these two books also can refer, but you try to click this one, see whether you can find these two books or not. Okay, and these two books also quite good. Basically, these two books are the same. They are the same, just that different edition. Second edition, this one, third edition. So both books I think should be quite okay. Nothing, not too big differences. So if you want, you can actually get second edition, or you can get third edition also can. And just now I mentioned a bit about valuation method. So these two books are related to property valuation. Basically, this is the first edition, second edition. So both books also can be referred. Okay. I understand that some of you are at hometown, so unable to access Utah physically. So these are some of the e-platform that you can use, not only for this course. Maybe you want to get some ebook, you can access to Utah subscribe ebook database, so that you try to find some ebook which is you are interested to get it, then see whether you can get it for free or not. So I provide a few links here, hopefully can help you, especially during this difficult time now, because we cannot access to campus at the moment. All right, so one thing for you to take note lah. So this is the MS Team channel for property development. So basically, normally I will conduct lecture here. So lecture channel. So these are all the tutorial channel. So let's say you are from T8. So you just go to T8 channel not every Tuesday. Should be even group Tuesday, 2 to 2 p.m. Okay, so just follow the group accordingly. Okay, and if you are notice, if you go to general channel, okay, you will see this additional tab called property news article. So I have posted 3 articles related to microeconomics. So let's say, for example, you click one of the article, you will see that say for example this one, the title is Seremban, not time yet for high-rise building. Okay, so this article actually relate to microeconomics under subtopic land use intensity. So you can click this link to read, okay, so that you can further understand the content clearly. The reason why I want to practice this one is I don't want you to just get the theory from the books, from the lecture. So sometimes I will use some industry practice to further justify what we have learned in the books. So this one will actually help you to understand further why we say that land is very expensive. Okay, why we need to build higher. So by reading this article further, you will further understand better, not only from the books itself, but also in the industry practice, why we say so. Okay. And I think this one you all know, right? Webeler, okay, just click it. So normally our class is Monday, right? So I will actually post the new lecture slide. I think latest Thursday lo. Okay, so you can actually go to the Webeler. So basically, at the up there here is all the announcement. So you can see the announcement here. If I have new announcement, I will post here. So this is what I mentioned just now. You can click here to fill in the details so that I have your record. Because sometime later on you submit wrong file, I cannot contact you. We will miss the golden hour. Then later on, you might need to go to replacement because something is suspicious. Okay, so please remember to fill in. And I actually arrange the Webeler in every week. You can see week 1 and week 2. So I will post the lecture slide. Okay, sometime here is the additional information for you that I hope you can spend some time to read the property news and article which related to the topic. It might help you later for your online open assessment. Okay. For this course, I will heavily use this website, HProp. Later on your assignment, right, you can also use this website to find some of the relevant information. Okay, so this website actually quite good, HProp. And I will also encourage you to follow Facebook, HProp Malaysia Facebook. Sometimes they will post very, very interesting article related to property development. And sometimes they will conduct live also. Like let's say few early of the year, they actually have a live discussion about what is the impact of MCO 2.0 on the Malaysia property sector. So you are free to join. Okay, and every week they will have this called pull out article, not to say article, some sort like a short magazine. So they will actually have a different topic for every week lah. So sometimes if relevant, I will also post to Webeler, and also I will attach in the lecture slide so that you can understand better. But maybe you just click to follow lah. Okay. All right. So lastly, I hope that you will enjoy learning this course, especially for those who are graduating very soon. So I hope that you can learn something new from this subject so that later on it will be beneficial in your career life later. Okay. All right. So far, any question that you want to ask me, you can post in the message chat. If you have any question, you can post in the message chat. Any questions so far? Hi, Jasper. So early, Anyone others? Hi, Pauline. See you so soon, Pauline. Where is Suki? Your best friend. Okay, no, good lah. All right. So the assignment group, right? You can click here. Can you see the link here? You click here. Somebody send me an email request access. You have to log in using your what Utah email. You ask me request as you ask me to grant you access. I cannot grant you because you are using Gmail, Yahoo Mail, or Microsoft email to log in. I cannot give you. You have to use Utah. But so far I didn't see anybody fill in. So can you all fill in? Something wrong with my Excel sheet or what? Because I didn't see anyone fill in before. Can you all fill in? Can fill in or not? Or I restrict the accessibility already. Can someone let me know? Who is this? Can fill in or not? Ching, can fill in or not? Can type or not? Can, right? Cannot type. Who is here? Jasper, can you type? Can, right? Okay, so right, why I need to create this Google Sheet is I understand some of you actually from different semester. I takut you tak ada kawan actually. So that's why if you find out some of the group still have empty space, you can contact the group leader asking permission. This group arrangement, you don't want this old lady or this lecturer to worry, can or not? So try to form your group not more than 7%. If you are unable to find your group, you see which group got empty space, then you go and contact the leader, asking permission, see whether you can join or not. Okay, so say for example, I put Jasper here. Okay, Jasper here. Okay, so Jasper, you have to go to, you see this tab, group 2, right? So find Jasper name. Okay, here, Jasper. So Jasper under group 3. Okay, you fill in the detail here first. Then you go to here, Jasper group 2. Okay, so you need to fill in 2 things lah. So try to form your group before next week lah, so that I can monitor, see who didn't have group member. Okay, you fill in this later lah. Okay, so no question. So I will go to, still got time. I will break you later. Wait a moment. All right, so topic number 1, microeconomics concept. Okay, where are we going? At the end of this chapter, I hope that you'll be able to explain the key microeconomic concept and theory that have a bearing on urban property market. Okay, introduce some of the economic concept concerning the rent. Rent here means rental, land use, and also land use intensity. We are going to learn how to differentiate these 3. Okay. Third, explain the location of each site influences the way it is used and its profit-making potential. Meaning to say that, why Semenyih property and KL property are so different, although they are same size, same arrangement, same design. But why KL property price higher than Seminyak? That is the effect of what? Location. Last but not least, explain why property exchange prices and their associated valuation are largely explained by demand side factor. Okay? Basically, these are the sub-chapter content that we are going to learn. Okay? First, we will go to the very basic introduction first to recap your memory. Okay? Now you're in year 4. I want to recap your memory in, I think, year 2, right? Year 2. Okay? What economics study? Okay, maybe let's have some time interact with you. When people ask you, student, what is economics? What is economic? Anyone? You can type in the chat box. Okay? What is economic? To your understanding, when we say economics, what does it mean? Anyone? Cheap, very good. Okay, that is also my understanding during last time. Any more? Supply demand, yes, correct. This is what you have learned right in the year 2, your economics in the construction industry. Only 2 students answer me. So kesian. I got 182 students, but only 2 students answer me. Any more? What do you understand about economics? Let's have some interaction now, students. I seldom call names, but unless being forced okay, marginal cost, MC, correct? What else? What is the keyword that you really understand? Yeah, very good. Elasticity. Okay. So thanks, for of you for feedback. Okay. When we say economics, of course, I think one of the students get it right, not to say right. Many people will think about cheap. Because in Chinese, it's called economics means 经济. 经济 means what? Cheap, affordable. So you can see from the picture when the even this one we call economic rice, economic noodles. So our perception about economics is it about cheap, something affordable? Okay. So there are many perception, many people definition about economics. So some of you may think that when we talk about economic, something should be related to money. Is it about money? Or is it about business? Because most of the businessmen will tell you, economy not good, my business affected, especially COVID-19 affect my business because economy not good. That is a common thing that you can get from newspaper. Why cannot implement full MCO? Because business cannot survive, economy not good. So is it about business? Then is it about government and job? Similarly, why cannot implement full MCO? Because government say small business cannot sustain. People will lose their job. So is it about government decision? Or is it saying that just now got one student mentioned money, how people make money and spend it? Or why some nations are rich, some are poor? Why US so rich? Why other countries so poor, like India, say for example? Or is it economics is all about why some people are very rich, but other people are poor? So again, the keyword rich, okay? But generally, the basic definition about economics is about study of choices. Very sad, I didn't see the word choices here, but I do see something related not to say all wrong okay, and their consequences. So why we need to say that choices? The choices appear because the word we want. more than we can get. Okay, want meaning to say that we always want more in our life. Okay, but problem is we always want more. But problem is our resources are very, very limited. The one that we want need resources to be sacrificed. But problem is resources is very scarce, means limited. So that is the reason why economics is study about choices. Due to the reason we always want more than we can get. We want more money, correct or not? Now I ask you back lah, class. What do you want more in your life? Anyone? Jasper, I know you got money already. What do you want more in your life? Anyone? If let you to choose, what do you want more in your life? Wait, you all sleep already? Parent life, very good. Girlfriend, correct? More girlfriend. Jasper can convert to Muslim. Maybe you can have more girlfriend. Yes, more time, more money. Yes, Derek, correct. That is also what I want. Work-life balance, correct or not? So people want more thing, want different thing in their life. Different people will have different priority. So we cannot foresee that everybody got their own need. Okay? So based on this picture, this is what we call Maslow hierarchy of need. So you can see the bottom hierarchy, you can see is the basic need of the people. So the most basic need of a person is what? They want food, sufficient food, clean water. Shelter means what? A roof over your head. House, property. Warm, meaning to say that clothes to protect yourself. That is a very basic. Then only you achieve already, you will move one pyramid up to find the security. Say, for example, have a stable job so that you will have some security and stability. Then only, like Jasper, start to find girlfriend, friend, family, and lover. Okay, so after that, you will start to moving up to a upper pyramid, which is you want to have some respect, achievement, or you want to pursue some inner talent, creativity to have higher fulfillment. So basically, this is the hierarchy of need. As I mentioned just now, different people will have different priority, different needs. Okay, but nowadays, I would say that during this era, people might want more internet, especially now we are learning at home. We wish to have more data, unlimited data, free data, and also battery. Correct or not? Because that is the evolution. Okay, so now my question asks you, class, what do you think? Now, young generation, what do you think? They want what? They want what more in their life for now current generation people? What do you think? Maybe I ask you lah. Now you are the current generation, okay? What do you want more in your life rather than money, life, time? What do you think? Can guess or not? Other than money, not money already. This one is a joke, I think. It's a joke lah. They will ask you, I want more in this aspect. Attention, very good. Okay. Singly, when we say attention, they will ask you to what? They will ask you to do what? Vaccine. Okay. Singly is correct. You can see nowadays the generation, they will ask you, hey, please follow my YouTube channel. Please subscribe my YouTube channel. I want more like, more comment. Of course, good comment, more follower. Correct or not? That's why that is the different generation. You can see, especially now, those YouTuber or in Chinese we call Wang Hong. They want what more what viewer, follower, more like. Okay, but someone just now mentioned correct. Actually, currently we want more what freedom. safety, peace of mind. Because we are now in the lockdown, we cannot go out freely, even from our door, from our house door. So that's why that is the new needs that we hope that to achieve in the near coming future. More freedom, no more scare, because we do not know what happened when we step out from the house, whether you get infected or not. So actually, this one is one type of mentally abuse lah, because you scared whether you get infected or not. YBB. Okay. All right. So now I want to introduce you to urbanization. Please follow Casey Chai 98 in IG. How many how many followers do you have? Okay, any one of you do you understand what is urbanization or not? Anyone? What is urbanization? Can anyone give me a definition? When we say, I know I should ask who already. Joey, Wong Joey, Xian Yi, what is urbanization? Are you both here? Joey, Xian Yi? Joey, Xian Yi, what is urbanization? Okay, Joey go. Actually, sorry, I actually call Wong Joey. Wong Joey. Xian Yi, what is urbanization? What do you understand about urbanization? Urbanization means what? To both of you. Don't understand, then you have to fail your FYP already. Yes, urbanization is about the layman term is increased population. Okay, people moving from rural to city. Like for example, me I came from Semenye, consider rural lah, very last time lah. So after I get married, I moved to KL, Cheras city. So that is a scenario of urbanization. There is the increased population. People start to move, living in the city and town. Okay, but we understand that. Okay, that is the definition. More than half of the world population now live in urban area, means city center. Okay, 1.5 million people are added to the global urban population every week. Okay, but the United Nations predicted that two-third meaning to say that 67% of the world population will be living in the city by 2050. But we understand that this scenario, when many people moving to city, it actually bring a difficulty to the city. The city start to consume the world natural resources. When we say that more and more people moving to city, the city start to have pressure because resources not enough. Okay, not enough in terms of what? What kind of resources not enough? First, house, land. When more and more people moving away from their hometown, move to city center, of course, the first thing they want to find what? House. So, but the limitation is what? The land is not sufficient. Okay. Second, job. Do you think that the city got so many jobs to fulfill the requirement, to fulfill the population requirement? So that is the one of the problem also. Don't have enough job. And then the infrastructure and also the services also inadequate, which result in the health problem, the educational service also not enough. When more and more people live in the city, another problem also will create is what? Pollution. So that's why you can see that the air pollution, the water pollution is always happen in the city. So urbanization actually bring a greater pressure to the city resources, because due to the fact that our city resources is not sufficient to cater the increase in terms of the population to the city. That is the trend right now, urbanization. Okay? So back to the fundamental, economics study what? Scarcity, choices, incentives. These are the three keywords that you have to remember. In fact, I know you have learned already in your economic in the construction industry. Okay, but just a recap for you lah. Okay, so as I mentioned just now, your want, just now I asked you a few questions, what do you want in your life? So everybody will have different want and need, but all these want and need are unlimited. But the problem, as I mentioned just now, the resources is very constrained, it's very limited. So when want more than resources, we are facing this problem called scarcity, insufficient, limitation. Okay, so when you face limitation, scarcity, you need to make a choice. Okay, so make a choice meaning to say that we encourage people to make rational choice. Okay, how are you going to make the rational choice? It also depends what are the incentives that you are going to receive later on. Incentives mean what? Incentive mean that it's a reward to encourage your action. Say for example, like today is public holiday. So I ask your opinion, student, you want to continue sleep or you want to attend my first class? Correct or not? So because what is the problem behind? Your time is limited. Correct or not? So you have to make a choice whether you want to attend the class or you want to continue sleep. So you have to make rational choice. How do you make rational choice is you have to do evaluation. Evaluate what? The benefit and the cost from the choices. Benefit meaning to say that what are the gain, what are the positive things that you are going to get. Cost and losses meaning to say that what are the things that you need to give up. So say some of you choose to attend the first lecture. So you attend the first lecture, you get the knowledge. But you have to give up what? Your sleeping time, no? Okay, so that is the rational choice. We always go for the greater benefit. Okay, but on the other hand, no choice, you have to give up another alternative. What you give up is what we say opportunity cost. When you give up your sleeping time means your opportunity cost you already give up. This one very important, trade-off, exchange. What do we mean? Trade-off meaning to say that you can only have one thing. You cannot have two things at the same time. In order to get one thing, you have to give up another thing. So that is what we mean trade-off. In order to have one thing, no choice, you have to give up another thing. So that is mean by trade-off and exchange. Okay, so as I told you, how are you going to make a rational choice is always depends on the incentive behind to encourage you to make a rational choice. How you make? Evaluate the benefit and also the costs. Okay, so basically, this is what you have learned in your year 2. Come back to here. What I want to emphasize here is, first of all, economics is always study how individual like us, like I mentioned just now, we got not enough time. So we have to make a rational choice. Somebody please off your mic. We have to make a rational choice whether to attend the class or continue to sleep. Okay, household meaning to say that their income is very limited. So that's why they have to make a choice how to spend their income efficiently. Okay, firm meaning to say that organization, company, their money is limited. their time is limited, labor, human resources, all are limited. So that's why organizations like Apple, Samsung, they need to think about what product to produce so that they can get higher sales. Okay, last but not least, government. Government, their tax revenue, their income, very, very limited. So that's why government need to make a very, very careful choice. How to spend, how to allocate their tax revenue so that the nation can be beneficial for it. That is what you learn during your year 2 economic in the construction industry. Come to today, you are learning property development. So, property investor, for investor, their time, their money are very, very limited. So for an investor, they had to make a careful choice. They should invest in property or they should invest in share. Or they don't need to invest in property or share. They can invest in FD. So that's why how they make a choice, it depends on the incentive. Incentive for this one is which one bring the highest return for the property investor. So we need to study this thing at the behind. What motivate them to invest? Why property is so popular as compared to share? Or maybe share also popular at the moment, especially Top Glove share. Why Top Glove share is actually quite popular to buy, quite good investment. So that is the incentive behind, driven the investor to invest in share. And for property developer, of course, for a developer, their money, their funding, their time, their human resources, their labor are very, very limited. So when facing this kind of limitation, developer need to make a choice. Which project should I develop? Which project should I develop? Which piece of land should I buy? Should I start to development? I should buy in KL or Semenyih, or should I develop mixed use, or should I develop pure residential only? So what is the incentive behind driving property developer to make the choice? Is the rate of return, is the percentage, the profit. So they will evaluate which project bring the greatest profit, then they will go for that choice. Okay, so I hope you understand in property development context, we are also study about economics, but the economics are more related to property developer and also property investor. Okay. Right, so a typical example about this is the 2021 government budget. So as I told you just now, our government, their money are very, very, very limited. So you can see out of the portion where it come from. The government budget mostly come from income tax. So when after you graduate, when you work, you need to declare and you need to pay the income tax. Okay, and they also get the money from borrowing or use of government asset. So this is where they come from. Supposingly, they need to spend carefully. So you can see this is how they spend their money. That is also one form of the economics because their money is very limited. So they need to make a careful choice how to spend their money efficiently so that it benefits for the whole nation. Okay? All right, so as a conclusion, economics is actually study choices whether individual, business, government, and entire society make when they face the problem limitation. And what they actually, how to encourage them to make a careful choice is the incentive behind. All right. Okay, last but not least, okay, before we go for break, so you know this cartoon, right? Not to say cartoon, this movie, right? This movie is about Avenger Infinity War. So you know this guy, right? This guy is Thanos. So the story behind is Thanos say that this universe has finite resources, very very limited resources. So if the life is left unchecked, life will cease to exist. It need to correcting. So that's why Thanos' intention is actually correct because overpopulation. So that's why Thanos need to get 6 Infinity Stone in order to wipe out half of the population of the universes. So actually the theory is correct lah. We are actually facing, just now I told you, urbanization, overpopulation in the city. But what we are facing right now is the resources are very, very limited, unable to sacrifice overpopulation needs. So actually, just a joke lah, Avengers say, are you insane? You should study economic because economic is all about how you make a careful choice when you face limitation and what are the incentive behind driving you to make the choice. All right. So all right, so right now I will preach for maybe 5 minutes. Okay, let's have a short break. If you have any question, you can drop me a message. Come back 9, 10, 6 minutes lah. Okay, I will see you all later. Okay, remember scan your attendance. Okay, I will continue. Okay, so of course, back to this slide, you can see that when we say economics, you already know that it can be divided into micro, macro. Okay, so microeconomics, during your economics, year two economics, the definition is microeconomics study the small unit, very small unit that make up the entire economics, such as the individual, okay, household, okay, company, and also firm. That is the basic definition during your year two. So in property development context, the definition about microeconomics meaning to say that it try to determine how price, how rental value, the land value, they emerge and also change. And when the price, rental value change, how property developer react, how property investor react, how landowner, how contractor, the builder, they react when there is a changes in terms of price, rental, and value. That is the definition of microeconomic in property development context. For macroeconomics, the layman definition is about to study the performance of national, global economy performance. Okay, but in property development context, basically we want to know the performance of national or global economy performance and how it impact property industry. Okay, so it more concerned about the outcome when we say that there is a changes in terms of GDP, there is a changes in terms of inflation rate, interest rate, how it impact property development, how it impact property market industry. So that is a definition of macroeconomics in property development context. Okay, I hope you get this part clear. So, for example, microeconomics, what will happen when the demand of high-rise unit, when we say that there is a drop of price on the property, on the landed property. So we have to understand that what happen if the prices change, how it affect another type of property. Okay, in terms of macroeconomics, you can see that how the weak ringgit is actually affecting the construction industry. Or you can actually reformulate the question is how the weak ringgit is affecting the property industry. Okay? And if you still recall, for economic study, basically it deals with two questions. The first question is what, how, for whom the good and services get produced. Second question is the choice made is actually for self-interest or social interest. Okay, so move to the next slide. You will see this in more detail. So basically for economics, we need to use resources, or sometimes we say input, sometimes we say resources, or even sometimes we say factor of production. Actually, three are the same lah. This is all we call input. What to produce? First question, what to produce is about output. So the output can be in the form of two. Good. What does it mean by good? Good means physical object that satisfies human need. So what are the physical objects? Say for example, food, handphone, okay, or PC, pizza, apple, say for example. Those are the physical objects produced to satisfy human need. Second type, what to produce is in the form of services. Services mean task performed to sacrifice human. Say, for example, what are the tasks, what are the service produced? Say, for example, haircut, repair, and also you go to massage, spa, facial. All these actually classify under services. So that is the output produced through sacrifice human need. In order to sacrifice human need, we need 4 factors of production. The first is what we call natural resources. Land. That is the first natural resources. We use land to produce. Say, for example, you want to have a house. So we need a piece of land. Okay. For labor, entrepreneurship, we will call this as human resources. Human resources. So say, for example, we want to kickstart a new property development. Of course, the first thing we need to have a piece of land first. Okay, then we need to have labor to construct the building. Okay, entrepreneurship meaning to say that we need a team of the human resources to actually facilitate, to organize land, labor, capital in order to kickstart the property development project. Okay, so entrepreneurship is basically a group of the human resources who organize land, labor, capital. Capital here is what we call manufacture resources. Capital here, not money, bukan money, not money. Capital here is what we refer as tool, equipment, plant, machinery. Say, for example, when you want to produce a house, you need some plant, machinery to build the house. Okay, so sometimes how I remember is I call this LLCE lah. LLCE are the 4 main factor of production that need to be integrated to produce goods and services. Okay, so that is the 2 questions. What to produce, how to produce. The last question, from whom. Okay, from whom is divided into 2. Self-interest. Self-interest meaning to say that you make a choice that you think best for you only. Okay, so you would think that, okay, say for example, for the property development project, developer normally, why they need to kickstart the new development? I ask you, maybe now I ask you, see you get the meaning or not. When we say property development is for self-interest, what does it mean? Why property developer need to build building? Why they need to kickstart property leh? What do you think? What are their intention for self-interest? Anyone? Why property developer, they want to build houses for what kind of purpose in terms of self-interest? What are the incentives driving behind? Hey, yes, very good. Yes, correct. To sell and earn money. Yes, the first one, why property developer? Do you think property developer do things for charity? Of course, no. The first thing is they have to think about profit first. That is the self-interest. They want to earn money. Okay, that's why they organize land, labor, capital, entrepreneur so that they can earn profit. Okay, that is self-interest. You make a choice that you think that best for you. Why you want to build high-rise building? Why you don't want to build landed? Because high-rise building can sell more unit, then you can get more profit. So you make this choice that you think best for you. Social interest meaning to say that choices are made for the society as a whole. Okay, of course, sometimes to be fair, we cannot say that developer definitely profit-minded one. Some developer, especially government project, they build house for social interest. That's why we got a house called what? Affordable housing, prima housing, correct or not? So all these houses built for social interest because we know that people cannot afford to buy a house because the salary is too low. They cannot afford to buy a decent house. So that's why sometimes government will have this kind of social interest project. They build affordable housing so that benefit for the society as a whole, to ensure that everyone can have an opportunity to own a house. That is social interest. Okay, but very important, we have to understand that when we say you build a house for social interest, we have to achieve two targets: efficiency, equity. Okay, efficiency meaning to say that, do we use our factor of production in the best way? Okay, efficiency meaning to say that we have to fully utilize, we have to use the resources optimally, optimal, ensure no waste. Okay, so efficiency is achieved when the resources that we use to the resources we use to produce the goods and services actually at the lowest price and right quantity. So in a layman term, you just to remember, fully utilize the resources, ensure no waste. Okay, so that is a word, efficiency. Equity, the meaning to say that fair. Okay, how do you classify fair? Okay, you look at this picture. This one is not in the lecture slide. Okay, maybe I invite Jasper. Jasper, can you on your mic? Jasper, what is the difference between picture 1 and picture 2? Jasper.
Hi.
You say you're ready for my question. What is the difference between the picture 1 and picture 2?
The blue t-shirt one share the box to the purple t-shirt one.
Picture 1 means they got what?
Picture one got one, not enough tall. Cannot see anything.
This one cannot see anything, correct or not?
Yes.
Then this one?
This one can see.
Which one? Okay, which one is equal? And then which one is equity? Can you classify or not? Equal means same. Equity means fair. Which one?
Equal should be picture number 2. Equity should be picture number 1.
Okay, thank you, Jasper. Okay, so you can see picture 1. Okay. Sorry. Wrong already. This is what we call equal. Okay, this is what we call equity. Equal, as I say, means same. You can see from picture number 1, 3 persons, they are giving the same box to access to the game. Fair ma? Like our government say, hey, you don't have money, I give everyone the same money lah. That is fair ma? Everyone get what they want, same. But problem is, we know that some people might have some limitation. Especially you can see this small kid. You give him one box, yeah, it's fair. Everybody got one box. But problem is the small kid cannot access, cannot even see the game. So that's why we have to be equity, fair. They are giving different support. This one no box, this one box, 2 box, so that they will have equal accessibility. They can see the game. Okay, so that is what we mean that equity, fair. Different support should be given to different people because everybody are different. They might have different priority and need. So sometimes we cannot treat them same. Just like in my class, I got 182 students. I cannot treat you all same because I know some of you are not in the final year, or some of you are not so quite weak, cannot understand my lecture so well. So sometimes I might need give you extra additional lecture or additional explanation to facilitate your understanding. So that is meant by fair equity. So go back to this slide is, when we say social interest is equity, must be fair. Okay, we must ensure that the good, the services that produce really goes to those who really need it. Okay. All right. So this is what I just now mentioned, LLCE lah. Okay. Of course, LLCE, they do not do things for free. They need to have some form of incentive to pay, some form of payment to motivate their action. So for land, you can see that they will receive rental. Labor, of course, I'm the Utah labor. So of course I do not do things for free ma. I will receive my what? Salary, wages. So capital, like I mentioned just now, is not money, it's about tool, equipment, plant and machinery. So normally we rent the capital, we will receive interest money. Okay. And as I mentioned, entrepreneurship, like let's say the property development community, the property development team, they do not do things for free. What are the incentives driving them behind to build property? Profit. So everything, you can see that they need some form of incentive to motivate their action. Okay. So as a summary, you can see that here, factor market is referred to input, your factor of production. Good market is referred to your output. So remember, good and services. Factor market input is your LLCE. Okay, as a household, you can see that we supply LLCE to the factor market. So factor market will hire by the organization. So the organization will actually integrate LLCE in order to supply the goods and services in the good market. So when we supply goods and services already, of course, this one is for who? Benefit bought from household. So household will buy good, will buy the services. Okay. In return, you can see that in order for the firm to hire land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship, they need to pay what I mentioned just now, rental, salary, interest, and profit. And then all these will receive by the household. So when the households got the money already, they will pay, they will spend, they will buy good, they will buy the services in the good market. So all this revenue and income will receive by the firm. So that is the microeconomics. Okay. So for more information, as I say just now, right, you can read this book under section 1.1 to understand better on this microeconomic concept. Okay, so now we will move to the property market and also price determination. Okay, so just now when I asked, what is economics? So I remember some students talk about demand and supply. Okay, so it comes to this slide, you can see that x-axis is the quantity of land. Y-axis is the payment for use of land. So we call it a rental. Okay, you can see the demand. This is the demand curve, right? Demand. Okay, demand curve slope downward. Correct or not? Slope from left to right, slope downward. Why slope downward? Is because people demand more quantity at lower price. When the price lower, you can see the quantity is high. Can you see that? Let's say P1. When the price is P1, the quantity is, let's say, 100. But if the price is here, P2, you can see that the quantity is only 10. That is what we mean by if the price of the land fall, demand will increase. Okay, so that is the reason why demand slope downward. When the price fall, demand increase because people always demand more quantity at low price. Okay, so as a conclusion, we can say that quantity demand has a indirect, or sometimes we can say inverse, or sometimes we can say negative relationship with price. Again, why I say so is quantity demand has a negative relationship with price because developer will always demand more quantity of land at lower price. So meaning to say that the higher the price, the lower the demand. Or the lower the price, the higher the demand. So can you see one up, one down? This is what we call negative relationship. They are moving in different direction. One up, one down. Okay? Of course, one thing you have to remember is ceteris paribus. Ceteris paribus is a Latin word, meaning to say that assuming other things being equal. Now we say that price affect demand, but we have to assume income same, population no increase, no decrease, same, ceteris paribus. Because in this world, not only price will affect demand, maybe income, maybe population will also affect the demand. So sometimes when we explain the graph involve x and y, we must always assume ceteris paribus, assuming other things being equal. So the higher the price of the land, the lower the demand. So we can say that quantity demand always has a negative relationship with price. So that's why here, sloping downward, that is the demand curve. But next slide. Now come from supply. So you can see that supply move upward because the higher the price, the more quantity will supply. Okay? But if the price fall lower, here the quantity become lesser. So that's why you can see the higher the price that can be obtained, the greater the quantity of the property that will supply. Meaning to say that the higher the price, the higher the supply. The lower the price, of course, discourage the supply. So you can see the arrow, they are moving in the same direction. So we can say that quantity supply has a positive or has a direct relationship with price. Okay, I repeat again. Supply curve slope outward from left to right because the higher the price, it will encourage the supplier to supply more product. Whereas the lower the price, it will discourage the supplier to supply lesser. So that's the reason we say quantity supply have a positive or we say direct relationship with price. You can see the arrow, they are moving in the same direction. So the higher the price, the higher the supply. So you can see the higher the property price, the higher the supply. Okay? And back to here, you can see that is a point we call equilibrium. I think you all understand, right? This one, equilibrium. Equilibrium meaning to say that when quantity supply intersect or meet quantity supply, when they intersect together, this is the point we call equilibrium point. So equilibrium price is where demand is equal to supply. What does it mean by equilibrium is sometimes we call it as happiness point. Happiness point meaning to say that buyers are happy with the price. Then the seller is also happy with the quantity supply at that price. That is a happiness price. Both supplier and the buyer are very happy because the price and the quantity are just equilibrium, equal. That is a happiness point. But you can see this is what we call equilibrium price. This is what we call equilibrium quantity. Happiness point. But what happened is when the price increased to P1, so you can see that if the price increased to P1, your supply more than demand. Supply more than demand is what we call surplus. Surplus meaning to say that oversupply. So when there are too many things available at the same time, surplus, this one very important, surplus will drag the price down. So the price will fall because there are too many things available at the same time. So the price will fall. That is back to the equilibrium point. But on the other hand, if the price fall to P2, P2 is a scenario demand more than supply. So that is what we call shortage. Shortage, excess demand. Shortage will create a scenario, force the price up. Okay, I give you an example. Remember last year March 2021, right? 2020, we have MCO 1.0. First time we experience MCO. We are being forced to adapt a new normal. We have to wear masks. Okay, so the time you can see everybody demand, the mask demand is actually very, very high. But during that time, because the supply is actually quite shortage, so actually here is the MCO 1.0. Demand more than supply because everybody's so scared. First time they heard COVID-19, so they had to wear masks. But then the supply of the mask just couldn't cater the higher demand. That's why last time I still remember I buy one box of mask, one box $65 to $80 per box during that time because of the shortage. So that is the reason shortage will force the price increase. But then now today is June 2021. Because we can cater, we already have experience, we know the supply very well already. So actually everybody got sufficient supply. So we actually in the scenario of surplus. The supply of mask actually more than the demand. So you can see that the price actually fall back to one box, I think should be RM 30 to 35 ringgit lah. So that is the scenario when excess supply, surplus, excess demand, shortage. It will either drag the price down or it will either force the price up. So that is the interaction between demand and supply. Okay? All right, so back to the property. Okay, property, very, very important. You have to remember property have two components. The land itself, meaning to say that only the land only that piece of land without any building, plus improvement in term of in the form of building and also other man-made addition. So here when we say property, actually property got two value. First is called land value. Okay. The first is what we call land value. The second one is the building value. Okay, now question Q&A, class, I ask you. Which one will keep on increasing over time? Land value or building value? Which one? Which one will keep on increasing over time? Land or building? Very good. Land value. Very important. Land value will always appreciate. That is a word you can learn. Don't only say increase. You can say that land value will appreciate over time. On the other hand, your building value will depreciate. Okay, especially if you didn't maintain your building very well, your building value will depreciate faster. But on the other hand, land value will always appreciate due to certain factor. I will let you know later when I come to that slide. You just have to remember, land value will keep on increasing, but building value will depreciate. So you have to sometimes you heard somebody say, nowadays the property so expensive nowadays property like let's say 500 to 600,000. Last time 20 years ago 20 or 30 years ago, the land value only 200 or 330,000. What makes them different is the land value appreciate very, very fast, which makes your building right now 500 to 600,000. Okay, so that is the reason we say that land value will appreciate very, very fast as compared to building value. Okay. Okay, this one also very important. Listen carefully. Property is unique. Unique meaning to say that no two same property. Okay, even twins you know twins, right? You know twins, although they look very similar, A and B, look very similar. But then I can assure you, definitely there is something different between two of them. Maybe characteristic. So similarly, building is very unique. There is no two same property. Like I mentioned just now, KL condominium, KL Semenyih. Although KL property and the Semenyih property, same shape, same sign, same design, exactly the same lah. But KL condominium can be 700,000. Semenyih condominium 300,000 only. Why? They are the same but they are located at different locations. So that's why property is very unique. There is no two same property. Okay? Heterogeneous meaning to say that they are diverse in terms of characteristic. Okay, what are the difference in terms of characteristic? First one, geographical position is just now I mentioned to you, location. So you can see 700,000 you buy a condominium in KL, but I can tell you in Semenyih you can buy a landed, very big, spacious landed houses, 700,000. So what makes them different? Location different. Okay, why location will be different? Why location? Why KL location? The price is higher. Anyone of you know or not? Maybe you can guess. Why in KL the price is higher? Why leh? What makes the price higher? Okay, Jasper, what is limited there? What is limited? Correct, Pauline, very good. Jasper also correct, but then I want to mention land is limited in KL. So that's why property in KL is very, very, very expensive because the land is very, very limited. So we may say limitation, limited edition. The first thing you think about is what? Expensive. Okay, and what Pauline just now mentioned is also very good. Near to sources is what we call accessibility. Access to what? Access to labor, access to material, access to what? Public transport. So that's why sometimes the house near to MRT, near to LRT, the price is higher as compared to a normal building further away from LRT, MRT. That is the word we call accessibility. Okay, because the house access to LRT, people want convenient. Okay, another one maybe I can maybe you can have a look. Say for example okay, this is the short lot lah So we have short lot. Ayo, so bad my drawing. You can see that this is near to the main road. Here main road So you can see row A, row B. Although short lot A, row A and row B, they are the same. But then row A is slightly more expensive as compared to B. Why ne? Anyone know or not? Why I say row A is more expensive than row B? They are the same. They are the same design, same location, same arrangement, but why row A is more pricey? Yes, close to main road. What is the term we say? Anyone can guess the term or not? Better location, close to main road. What is the word we say? They have a better what? Why we say close to main road is good? Because people can what? Let's say here got 1 mark. Not accessibility. Maybe I tell you lah. Visibility. Okay, so why row A is more expensive than B is because people can see row A easily as compared to row B or even row C. So that's why visibility. Okay, and then sometimes, right, the short lot this is a short lot. So normally three-story short lot 3-story. So ground, first, second. The ground floor always priced higher than the first floor and also the second floor, also due to the same reason, visibility. When people pass by, either by walking, either by driving, they can see ground floor easily as compared to first floor and the second floor. Why? Because of visibility. Not similar to accessibility, but the better word to describe this scenario is what we call visibility. Okay, so you can add you can add in here visibility. Okay. Next, physical attribute. So as I told you, property can be different in terms of size, arrangement, okay, in terms of let's say shape. So sometimes you can see this kind of physical attribute can make the price different, especially let's say in the same condominium, same price. But then you can see some of the condo at higher floor, especially when they have a better view to KLCC. Better view, they can price higher. Although same condominium, same shape, same arrangement, but because of the visibility, they can see KL Tower, KLCC, then they have price higher. Sometimes you will be quite surprised. For those condominium, the unit with 18, 8, 28, 88, wow, the price even higher. Why ne? Why 18, 8, 28, 88 or 9, 19? Why this kind of plate number they can sell higher? Any one of you know or not? Even though they are located in the same area but sometimes because of people prefer, yes, feng shui feng shui, superstition. So that's why people can, when they want to buy this kind of number, you will surprise this unit can sell higher as compared to normal unit. They are the same but they only have one difference because of the number plate. That is what we call physical attribute. Okay, even floor, people will avoid 4th floor, 14th floor, 24, the floor Okay, sometimes you can see they don't want 4, they will change to 3A. Just like in Utah you can see we don't have 4th floor, we only have 3A only. Okay, so they are different in terms of physical attribute. All right, legal restriction. Legal restriction meaning to say that sometimes the house can be divided, not sometimes always they divided into freehold, and also no space, leasehold. Freehold meaning to say that you own the house and the land forever. I'm saying landed landed houses, you own it forever. Leasehold has certain limitation. Maybe you only own the house up to 99 years. After 99 years, the house will revert back to the state government. You have to renew the lease. So that is the legal restriction. Normally, freehold is higher price than the leasehold, more expensive than the leasehold. Okay, sometimes you can see although same location, but because of freehold, leasehold, the price could be different. Okay. Next, external influences mean government intervention, meaning to say that sometimes government will have different planning. Okay, perhaps they will increase the tax, stamp duty, or maybe they sometimes introduce a new tax, GST lah, SST. So all these will affect the property price due to the government intervention in the form of planning. They introduce a new form of tax, or maybe they say that stamp duty exempted, or maybe no need to pay tax already when you buy property, also will influence the property demand. Okay. Property is large. Okay, large meaning to say that visible, something you can see is very big. When you buy share, when you buy FD, when you buy bond, you cannot see the thing visible. But when you buy property, you can see the thing physically, you can touch. Okay. Next, this one you have to learn. Indivisible meaning to say that cannot separate. Please remember this word. Indivisible means cannot separate. When you buy one property, you have to buy one whole thing. You cannot say that, ayo, today I just graduate already. I just graduate only. I got no sufficient money. Can I buy toilet first? Can I buy living room first? Or can I buy first floor first? Cannot. When you buy property, you have to buy the whole thing. It's indivisible, cannot be separate. You cannot say that I buy part by part because I do not have sufficient money. Can I buy part by part? Cannot. Property is indivisible. You cannot buy part by part. It cannot be separated. Okay? And property is very expensive. Okay? As we all know, it's very expensive, especially in city center because of land is limited. So that's why financing play a significant role in the market activity. So we need to borrow from bank. Okay, most of the people, they need financing from bank. Maybe they need to fork out 10% down payment, but the rest of the 90%, they need to get financing from bank. Okay, durable. What does it mean by durable? Means long lifespan. Okay, when we say durable, meaning to say that the building can last very, very long time. Okay, because they are very tangible, something you can see, they last very long. Unlike our handphone, unlike our PC or laptop, they are not durable. Because you can see now they launched iPhone 12. Very soon, next year, iPhone 13, iPhone 12 phase out. Correct or not? So this is not durable. But for property, it's very, very durable. They last very long time. I think maybe I die already. The property is still there. So that's why a bigger market for existing property. Here, something for you to remember. When we say property market, it divided into two. Primary market, secondary market. Okay, primary market meaning to say that you buy, you direct purchase the property, especially new property from the developer. That is the primary market. Secondary market meaning to say that, let's say Jasper buy a house already, A building already, then I want to buy. I buy from Jasper. Okay, so that is what we mean. I buy the property in secondary market from Jasper, not from developer. Okay, so the definition is purchase from primary buyer. Primary buyer. Okay, not from the developer. Jasper buy first, then I buy from Jasper. So that is what we call secondary market. Okay, so primary market normally 5 to 10% out of the market, but Secondary market normally 90%, because secondary market, the property can last very, very long. So that's why sometimes you can see many people also like to buy second-hand house. Then they do refurbishment, they do renovation, because secondary house may be located at a better location and maybe cheaper as compared to the primary market. Okay, just for you to understand, remember, primary market, you direct purchase from the developer. Secondary market, you purchase from the primary buyer. Okay, and secondary market has a bigger market as compared to the new market. Okay, because due to the fact that property is durable, very long lifespan. Okay. Okay, just in time, 10 o'clock. So let's break from 5 minutes. If you have any question, you can drop me the message lah. Okay, so come back at 10:05. Okay, see you all later. All right, class, continue. Okay. Based on this statement, price determination focus on rental value. Okay, price here is talk about capital value. When we buy property, actually there is got two value. One is rental value. Okay, so when you buy property, you have two choice. You can either rent it out, so you can collect rental lor. So that is what we call rental value. Say for example, you can collect rental 1,000 per month. When you rent out your property, that is a rental value. Price here actually refer to either land cost or capital value. Capital value meaning to say that sometimes people they treat the property as an investment. They buy already, after several years they will dispose, they will sell. So say for example, when you buy the property is 400,000. Then after several years, as I told you, property price will appreciate. It becomes 600,000. So that is a capital value that you are going to earn when you dispose. So what this statement meaning is say that when the rental value increase, the price capital value also increase. Say for example, okay, I give you the scenario. Before Utah move into Sungai Long, after Utah move into Sungai Long. Before Utah move in, I believe the rental value actually not so attractive. So say for example, the rental value maybe 600 per month before Utah move in. But once Utah stabilize or set up a campus in Sungai Long already, you can see that there are more students. The student population increase, the staff population also increase. So because of that, the demand for the houses in Sungai Long increase very fast. So instead of renting 600,000, they can rent 1,000 per month. So what do you think? How about the house price? Similarly, the property price in Sungai Long also increased very fast after Utah moved into Sungai Long because the demand increased. So that is a meaning price determination always focus on the rental value. When there is an increase in the rental value, the property price, the land cost subsequently will follow to increase. Okay. All right. Based on this graph, right? Okay. Classical economics during the very old time, economist called Ricardo. Okay, Ricardo stated that supply of land is perfectly, completely inelastic. Okay, this is what we call supply is perfectly inelastic. We have three scenarios. If you move to next few slide, right? If you move to this slide, okay, this is what we call supply is perfectly, completely inelastic. Very straight like this. This is what we call inelastic. Slope a little bit only. Can you see that? This is what we call elastic. The slope is actually very gentle. Can you see that? So please remember, this one is perfectly inelastic, very perfect like this. This is slope a bit inelastic. This one, the slope more gentle, elastic. Okay. So you go back to the slide. Okay. So during the old time, Ricardo say that supply of land is actually perfectly inelastic due to the fact that land is limited. Land is a very scarce resources, very limited. So that's why the quantity of land is actually fixed. Okay, so it cannot increase in response to higher demand. So you can see that quantity supply here is fixed regardless the price increase. Can you see that? Regardless the price increase, the supply remain fixed. When we say supply is completely inelastic, we can say that land during that time can only have one use or single use. Okay, again, when we say land is completely, perfectly inelastic, the land only used for one use, single use. Okay, now I ask you, what do you think? During the old time, the people will use the land for what purpose? Can you guess? What do you think? During when the old time, they will use the land for what kind of purpose normally? Not to say now, I think very long time. Leaf, other than leaf, very good. Farming, correct. Most correct. Tanam ubi. Mostly during the old time, they will use the land for one single use, which is farming, agriculture. They mostly will plant wheat, plant corn. Somebody say, Wen Kai say plant sweet potato. That is why they want to focus that thing leh. Why leh? Why you want to tanam ubi? I want to ask you. Why want to farming? But during the time, they want to farming only. Earn money, correct. Because during the time, I say that time is many years ago. Why they want to do farming is because farming is the most profitable use. Okay, they got no choice because during that time they can only do farming. So when we say the land only have one use, one choice only, which is you use farming. Okay, when you only have one choice, you got no opportunity cost. Got no opportunity cost. Because during that time, they got no choice. Because farming is the most profitable use, most earn more money. So that's why during the time, they only have one choice. So when we say you only have one choice only, you got no opportunity cost. So that's why you can see that in the next slide, the opportunity cost of using land is zero. Why zero? Because as I told you just now, they only use the land for one use, farming only. Okay, why farming? Because earn more money. So the opportunity cost is zero. Whatever earning for that piece of land is what we call economic rent. Simple definition for economic rent for you to understand is you just remember that is meant by surplus profit. OPEQ. OPEQ. That is what we call economic rent. The definition is surplus profit. So just like just now who say Chelsea say earn money, they can earn more money. That is their profit because no opportunity cost. Okay. So what happened is if the land productivity increase or the price of the commodity produced for the group increase, let's say the land productivity very high or the wheat, ubi, the corn, the price increase, of course the demand of the land will increase, correct or not? So you can see demand curve increase because there is a demand on the land. So the demand curve will shift from D to D1. But you can see supply here cannot move, still like this, still perfectly straight. Okay, so in that sense, you can see that when demand increase from D to D1, price also increase from P to P1, but the supply remain fixed and straight. So the only response is the price. So that is the only thing respond, but the supply here fixed regardless of the price. Although the price increase, but then the supply just cannot respond due to the fact that land supply is fixed. It's a very scarce resources. It's fixed in the quantity. Okay, so price therefore is slowly demand determined, meaning to say that price increase here is due to the demand. Supply, no response. Okay, this is what Ricardo said during the old time. Okay, but you have to remember that nowadays, different businesses will demand the land in different locations for different uses. Of course, as time goes along, they will notice that farming actually is not the only way. They actually have better choices, isn't it? So that's why different business, they start to demand land in different locations for different use. So some might build property, some might build houses, some might actually build different type of property already. Okay, businesses able to pay a price for the land. This one mean land cost. Depends on the revenue they can generate and the cost they will incur in the process. So, meaning to say that, okay, the story is like this. How to get a land? How are you going to get a piece of land? Of course, depends how much you can pay. How much you can pay for the land. So that is a land cost lah. Okay, how house business they can obtain a land, of course, it depends how much you are able to pay the land cost. So for a businessman, they will evaluate worth or not. Let's say the land cost is 500,000. They will start to evaluate if 500,000 this land cost worth or not. How they evaluate? Of course, by using a simple formula. How much profit they can get after they get the revenue minus the cost, including the land cost. If the profit is positive, is very high, then the business will attempt to pay for that piece of land. So that is a meaning to say that how business able to pay for the land cost, it depends how much revenue they can generate after deducting all the costs incurred during the process, how much profit they can generate. Okay, so now user they start to compete. Compete means what? They fight. Because just now I mentioned land is a very limited resources. So they start to fight that piece of land in terms of rental. Who can pay higher rent? Who can pay higher land cost? Then they can get that piece of land. Okay, so now because of this competition, supply of the land for a particular use no longer perfectly inelastic because land right now can have alternative use, meaning to say that it has an opportunity cost. So just now I told you that as time goes along, they start to notice that they shouldn't just use that piece of land for farming only. They can do it better. So they start to want to do something more profitable. So in that case, you have two choices already. Old time, they only have one choice. They do farming only, dam ubi only. But then now, slowly, when the demand increase, when the population increase, they start to notice that they got better choice. Say, for example, housing. So you can see now you got what? Two choice. Just now, last time, you only have one choice because you only so stupid, use it for farming only. But then right now, you got two choices. So this is what we call the land has alternative use. You have more than one use. Alternative use or multiple use. You do not so stupid, just use the land for farming only. You can build house. You can build shopping mall. You can rent it out. So you can say that when you have choices, you have opportunity cost. Because as I told you just now, when you choose one thing, you have to give out another thing. What you give out is what you call opportunity cost. But if you only have one choice, how are you going to make a choice? You only have one. That's why no opportunity cost. Okay? So now supply is no longer perfectly inelastic. The supply curve start to move upward sloping. Okay, so as you can see here, supply start to adjust. Just now it's like this. When you have like this, you only have one choice. So then now the supply change to inelastic. So if the supply is inelastic, you can see that under the portion got two. One is opportunity cost. Sometimes we also call transfer earning. They are the same. They are the same. This one is called economic rent. Okay, transfer earning meaning to say that minimum sum. Sum here means what? Money. Minimum money to retain. Retain means what? Keep. Factor of production. Factor of production is what? LLCE. Land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship in its current use. That is a minimum sum. Economic rent, as I told you, you just remember surplus profit only. Okay? Don't understand, isn't it? I give you one example. Okay? Say for example, Jasper lah. Jasper. Jasper actually in his final year already. So soon Jasper will graduate. So of course, when Jasper graduate already, Jasper got two choices. First, let's say the only choice Jasper can do is junior QS. QS lor. So let's say the QS earn is 3,000 per month. But I see Jasper is my AA. So I see Jasper also quite good boy lah. I trust Jasper. So I offer Jasper a job called RA, research assistant. To ask Jasper, hey, Jasper, you further study lah. You become my research assistant. Do this research so that you can earn your master. Then the salary is 4,000. I tell Jasper, I offer you another choice. So here you can see Jasper got two choice. The transfer earning is 3,000. Can apply now. Can later PM me. Okay. The transfer earning is 3,000. Why transfer earning is 3,000? You look at the example. You look at the definition. Minimum sum to retain, to keep Jasper in the current use. Current use is junior QS, 3,000. That is a minimum sum. How I am going to trigger Jasper? Jasper, don't do QS lah. No, you can have better future. You work under me. So become RA. Of course, I need to offer higher salary ma. So the RA, the economic rent Jasper are going to earn is 1,000 because that is a surplus profit Jasper are going to earn. 4K minus 3K. Okay, I explain again. Transfer earning is the minimum money, which is 3K, to keep Jasper in junior QS. Jasper is labor. Current use is what? Junior QS. That is the minimum sum. But then now I want to trigger Jasper. Hey, don't do QS, change to RA. Of course, I need to offer higher 4K law. Okay, so economy rent is the surplus profit earned by the factor of production, which is 4K minus 3K, 1K law. But then if I offer Jasper, you become my RA. In fact, RA right now is 2K. Jasper, you want or not? Now I ask you, Jasper, if I offer you 2K, become my RA, you want or not? Or 1.8 only? Mau ke tak mau? Don't want ma, correct or not? Because the minimum sum to retain Jasper is 3,000. But I offer 2K only. Of course, Jasper tak mau lah. Okay, so that is the meaning transfer earning. Minimum money to keep Jasper in the current use. Okay, of course, back to property development. Okay, back to property development. Property development transfer earning meaning to say that minimum sum or the opportunity cost retain the land. Just now Jasper is labor. I give you the example labor, but now I give you the example is land. Retain the land is current use, which must be at least equal to the amount that can be obtained from the most profitable alternative use. Economy rent similar law transfer is the surplus profit. So I give you another scenario. Jasper again. Because I only remember Jasper. Jasper is landowner. So Jasper got a piece of land in Sarawak. So normally the only choice Jasper have is do farming. Okay, so Jasper rent to another person for farming, 200,000 per month. But then right now, because maybe tourism very good, they want to build more hotel. So developer aim Jasper, hey, the land, can you rent for me? So another choice already, property. So can rent it for 3,000 per month. So in that case, transfer earning is 2,000 because 2,000 is the minimum money to keep that piece of land in the current use, which is farming. But then right now, because got your choice already, which is the property. So economic rent, what Jasper can earn is 1,000. You use 3K minus 2K. That is a surplus profit Jasper can earn. Okay, so that is a conclusion. Transfer earning is always the minimum money opportunity cost to keep the land, to prevent the land change to another use. Okay, whereas economy rental is the surplus profit that are going to obtain from that piece of land when that piece of land got an alternative use. Okay, I hope you take some time to understand this theory. Okay, for this one, land demand for development land is derived demand. Okay, what is derived demand? Derived demand meaning to say that output, land output. Normally, why we need a piece of land? It's because the land output, the land have productivity capability. Why we need land? Because we need to build house. We need a shelter. We need to build a house so that we own a house to stay. That is the productivity capability of piece of land. Then maybe why you need shopping mall? Because we need a place for leisure. We can have food. We can enjoy gathering with friends. We can watch movie to relax our stress. That is the output of the land. It offers a place. Shopping mall offer a place for the people to have gathering, to have social leisure activity. That is what we call derived demand. Demand from what we want. We want a house. We want a place to gather. We want a hotel so that we can enjoy our vacation. Okay? Okay. As a summary, again, this part I repeat again. The scenario you can see that is like this. When the supply is perfectly inelastic, as I told you, perfectly straight. Why perfectly straight is because last time Ricardo said supply is fixed because they only use for one use only, which is farming. No choice, So when they have only one use, there is no opportunity cost. Whatever you have, only ER, economy rental. But right now, when there is a better choice, supply will start to shift, become either inelastic or elastic. So in that sense, the supply is not fixed already. Why? Because additional supply will be added. How? Change land use. They no longer do farming. They can change to do residential. Maybe they can change to do mixed use. Or maybe they can change to industrial. Especially now people keep on Shopee, Lazada. So that is actually a trend that we need to build more industrial warehouses. So in that sense, that piece of land no longer got one use. They can choose to either do farming or they can do warehouse. So in that case, you can see the component here got two. OC, opportunity cost, TR, transfer earning. They are the same lah. And also the economic rental. Okay, so that is the differences between inelastic and also perfectly inelastic. Okay, so I hope you can take some time to digest this part. I understand maybe quite difficult for you to digest, but later on tutorial, we are going to discuss this part again. Perhaps you will understand better. One thing you have to remember, tutorial for this course is very important because sometimes I teach extra thing in tutorial classes, not exactly the same with the lecture. Okay. Okay, last part. This is the last part already before we off. Elasticity supply of land. The amount of price shift in response to change in the demand will depend on elasticity of supply. What does it mean of this one is, it depends whether the supply is inelastic or elastic. It depends on this one actually. It depends whether it's like this or either it's like this. Either more steep or either more gender. Can you see the gradient, the degree, the slope degree is actually different. Okay, so when the slope degree is different, it will affect the quantity here. It can affect the portion here. This one bigger, this one smaller. This one bigger, this one smaller. Okay, so the more inelastic, the greater the change in price. Okay, perhaps you see the next slide, you will understand better. Okay, this is a scenario in city center. Normally in city center, supply is inelastic because supply is very limited in city center as compared to suburban. So normally this is a scenario in city center. So you can see that S inelastic, D1. So this is transfer earning. This is your economic rental. Can you see that? Okay, so you got area A, area 1, area 2. So you can see the statement here, the land in the city center are almost entirely made up of economic rental. This portion is bigger. This is smaller. Because of the scarcity of this type of the space in this location. So you can see because of limitation, normally economic rental in city center is higher. Okay, another scenario you have to pay attention is this one. When demand increase, price increase. P1 to P2, D1 to D2. Quantity also increase. Can you see that? But there is a difference here is this one increase larger. This one increase a little bit only. Can you notice or not? Again, when the demand increase, price increase. Quantity of land also increase. But the difference is the magnitude. The price increase faster, larger, but the quantity here is a bit only. Okay, why? How are you going to explain this part is why the price increase faster as compared to the quantity is because of this limitation. Land is very limited in city center. Although the price increase very fast because people demand demand the land in city center, accessibility very good. Although the price increase very fast, but because of the limitation of the land in city center, quantity here just couldn't increase faster, larger because of the scarcity of land. Very limited. Although very good demand, the price increased very high. But then the quantity here just couldn't supply because land is very limited in city center. That's why you can see in city center, mostly developer will build high-rise building. Very rare they will build landed because when they build high-rise, they can build more unit, they can sell higher. Okay? But then in suburban city fringe, you can see that supply is more gender slope. This is what we call elastic. This is what we call elastic. So you can see when demand D1, S1, you can see transfer earning is actually bigger than the economic render. This one bigger. This one smaller. Okay. The supply has a more gender slope. This is what we say just now. Supply is elastic. Okay. Another scenario you can pay attention here, as I mentioned just now, when D increase, price increase, quantity increase. The difference is quantity increase faster than the price. This one increase faster than the price. Why? Okay, now I ask you back. Why quantity in suburban? Say, for example, in Semenyih. Why quantity of land in Semenyih increase faster than the price? Anyone of you know or not? Why quantity of land in Semenyih increase faster than the price? Anyone? Can you guess the reason? More space. I I think Pauline, you are right. Just that the term is not so correct. Actually, we can say there are plenty of land supply in suburban. Okay, the land supply in suburban sebenarnya is actually more than in city center. There are plenty of land supply. So that's why, although the price increase here a bit only, a little bit only, but then the quantity here increase faster because there are many land in suburban. That is the reason why in suburban you can see developer, they are start building more landed as compared to condominium. So that's why I actually attached 2 news regarding Seremban. Why Seremban not a time yet for high-rise building? That is a scenario because Seremban actually got plenty of land supply, and the another reason is their land is cheaper compared to city center. So when the land is cheaper compared to city center, they no need to build so high. They can actually build landed. So that is the reason why in suburban, the quantity of land increase faster than the price. Okay? All right. As a conclusion, the portion of transfer earning and the economic rental depends on elasticity of supply. Okay, for this statement, right, I actually put it in the next slide. This statement similar to the previous slide lah. Okay, the more inelastic, the higher the economic rent. This is the scenario. The more inelastic, the higher the economic rental, the more profit you can generate in city center. However, in city fringe, suburban, the more elastic of supply, you can see it here, elastic, the higher the transfer earning. This portion is the transfer earning. It's actually larger than the economic rental, which means that in suburban, there are plenty of land supply. And some more, the land is actually cheaper as compared to city center. So that is a conclusion. The elasticity of supply, the SR, whether inelastic or elastic, will affect the portion of economic rental and also transfer earning. Okay? All right, so I will stop at this slide. Next week, I will continue to talk about effect of time. All right, so any one of you, do you have any question want to ask me? Any question you want to ask me?